What's going on, you beautiful people? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing. I'm going over an update for one of my favorite decks of all time. This is one of the best decks I've ever built in my lifetime in my career of Yu-Gi-Oh. This deck is a mouthful on the title. It's actually Metalfoes, Crystron, True King, True Draco, Zoodiac. True Draco Zuza deck. True King is kind of like a deck on its own. You know, Metalfoes are a deck on their own. Crystron's a Crystron's a deck on their own. True Dracos can be a deck on their own, but I wanted to put all 5 of these decks together. That's some good chicken, man. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Sorry, guys. My girlfriend's cooking dinner for me. But yeah, it's 5 engines in one. The reason why I was inspired to make this deck was actually because I was looking at Dragonic Diagram for a long time. And look, this is such a dumb reason, I promise. This is the only reason why I built this deck. I was looking on Diagram, and I saw that there was a Crystron Rion there, Metalfoes Stealing, and also Zoodiac Rapier and Masterpiece. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, are these all? And then I looked up the lore, and it turns out that Metalfoes, Crystrons, and also Zoodiacs and True Dracos are all actually allies. They all work together to fight the True Kings. Hold on real fast. I'm about to turn this volume down because it might be bothering you in the background. Yeah, sorry about that, you guys. My TV was up kind of loud. I don't want it to interfere with the quality of the video. But yeah, as I was saying, so like the Metalfoes, the True Dracos, and the Zoodiacs, and the Crystrons, they're all good guys, and they all fight one enemy, which is the True Kings. That kind of shows how powerful the True Kings are, that all 4 of those, you know, armies have to work together to fight these guys. But I also play their enemies in this deck. It's really lit. It's actually very like well balanced. It's a hybrid deck that I feel like was meant to be like they're supposed to be played together because they complement each other's play styles so well. You're gonna see how this deck synergizes. Like, it sounds like it doesn't really work, but I'll show you exactly how it works. It's really dope. Starting with the monsters, the biggest portion and engine towards monsters is actually contributed to the Metalfoes. The Metalfoes actually produce a lot of grind game synergy. Just having endless Mithuriums really helps you just not only to float, but just to solidify your field presence. In addition to that, almost every broken combo requires at least 1 Metalfoes skill, at least 1. So you need to open up with at least 1, whether you're popping your True King Barastos to make your 1 card, you know, your first turn Calamity, or whether you're popping your Thisfern to search for Sulfenir and then pop combination and add your scales. Or if you're, for example, activating Zoodiac Barrage and you're popping either your True King, your Crystron, or if you're popping Bismugear or Mithurium just to clear your extra monster zone, then to get the float effect. There's like a lot of different shenanigans and combos you can do with this deck. It's really dope. But anyways, 3 Stealing, and then 3 Silvered. I maximized on all of them. 3 Gold Driver. I want this to look neat, so we're actually going to put a bit of space in between the slots. That way I can just keep things looking nice and organized. And I'm playing 3 of all the Metalfoes. Even Bismugear. Bismugear is my favorite because he's the only one that has an effect, and searching is really relevant for your full Metalfoes play. Because if you don't open up with enough scales, if you have at least 1 Metalfoes in hand, when you resolve Bismugear during the end phase, you can fuse for Mithurium or Orichalk or Alka-Heist on your opponent's turn. And if you have Mithurium already on field, you're going to use your combination to summon him back when you drop Orichalk, which is really dope. Then, of course, you know, the 3 Volt Flame. So I'm maximizing all the Metalfoes. I shouldn't have to explain them. They've been around for at least 2 years by now, I think, or almost 2 years. It should be 2 years by now, but they're so old. Not necessarily old, but you should know what they do. And then continuing, one of the best aspects of this deck is actually the Crystrons. I wouldn't even call it an aspect. I'll just say one of the best engines. The Crystrons are one of my favorite archetypes. Pure Crystrons themselves is such a mental challenge. That's what inspired me to play the deck, because I looked at it like this is not an easy deck. Not everybody's going to be able to play it, and that's why I wanted to play it, because I really like mentally challenging myself. The thing that attracted me to Yu-Gi-Oh! Was it reminds me of chess. It's a strategic game, and it really does require a huge thought process behind it. It's not only thinking ahead in the near future, but it's kind of planning things out and managing your resources and being careful with everything that you do. And you really have to act like the general of an army. And you gotta use your forces right so that you can get your victory. So I really like the Crystrons because they're so combo eccentric. In addition to that, it's just not easy to play. But if you can play the deck right, there's like a million different combos basically. And they're very consistent as They're as consistent as Zoodiacs because they're actually a 1-card combo. If you have any Crystron, you can just pop it with its own effect, summons a tree, and use the tree to make a 1-card synchro play on your opponent's turn. So this is the equivalent of opening up with Barrage or just any zoo monsters. So that's why I like them. They're really consistent. And after you resolve their effects, you can only summon machine types for the rest of the turn. So you can always make your Mithurium play or your Calamities first, then do their effect. And for the rest of the turn, it doesn't even matter because you've summoned everything that was a machine in the first place. So that drawback doesn't hurt the deck at all. Their effects to pop face-up cards helps you to combo off with your True Kings because they get effects when they're destroyed. It helps you to combo off with your Metalfoes, and Barrage also can put them in grave. Your Dragonic Diagram is one of the best ways to combo off because you can literally diagram away your Thisfern, search, and then Thisfern will search for Sulfenir, and then you'll search the Water True King off of Diagram, then you'll activate Sulfenir, pop a Metalfoes combination, search a scale, Barastos, pop Sulfenir. It's just so many different combos, it'll make your head hurt, honestly. This deck is really, really lit, and it's not easy. So I challenge you to actually pick this deck up and try it out. It'll really make you a better player overall, in my opinion. Then we play 2 copies of Sulfenir, and if you're wondering what Smigra and Thisfern do, aside from the effect that's face up on the field where you destroy a face up card, special summon a Crystron tuner from your deck, they have effects in graveyard. It can be activated the same turn that they're sent. You can banish him from grave to search a Crystron Speller's Trap, or you can banish him from grave to search a Crystron monster. Then I play 2 Sulfenir and not 3. He's extremely important for the combos. Like, if I don't see him, some of my combos won't even be as strong as they could have been. So without him, some of the combos are really weak. That's how important he really is. Then I play 1 Satri and 1 Rion. These actually recycle themselves if need be so. I really don't focus too heavy on the synchro summoning aspect of this deck. It really is icing on a cake. In addition to that, it's not necessary. It's not like a mandatory thing to where, oh my god, if I can't synchro summon, I'm going to lose. It's just very, very nice to have because it can catch people off guard. In addition to that, moving forward to the True King aspect of this deck, we're playing 3 copies of a True King, Agni Mazut, the Vanisher. This guy is so lit, and he's always live in this deck. You play more fires than you play anything else. In addition to that, we're also playing 3 of my second favorite True King. Lithosogem is actually my favorite of all time for the main deck because Calamities is the best one in my opinion. But Barastos is really dope. One of my favorite combos with Barastos is just Calamities, Call Water, pop 2 monsters, banish 2 back rows, clear 4 cards, and then attack for huge amounts of damage. Just punch. It's really dope. So he clears boards all by himself. And then if you pop him with the Zoodiac Barrage, pop him with Diagram, pop him with the Crystron, pop him with the Metalfoes. There's so many ways to pop your cards, then a lot of your cards need to pop. You get your 1-card Calamities. Not your 1 card, your first turn Calamities. In addition to that, I also play 1 copy of Masterpiece. Masterpiece is really dope in this deck, and he's so easy to make. I was like, dude, I really want to play Masterpiece so that I can have all the engines that I wanted in the first place. I wanted every single monster that I saw on Diagram. You don't see the True Kings in the artwork of Diagram, but Diagram works for the True Kings anyways. And I saw the True Kings as great extenders. Because if you open up with too many Crystrons in hand, they'll put them, like Barastos will put them in the graveyard where they belong. Because you banish them from the graveyard after you destroy them with his effect. And you get a lot of searches, and it sets you up very well. And once Barastos is on field, you can then pop him with Scales, pop him with Barrage. It's just really lit. And then summon your Agni Mazut. Then you can reveal Agni Mazut, summon him, add him back from grave. It's just really lit how this deck combos off. It's so extensive. And it really does give me headaches sometimes. I'm not going to lie to you. And continuing with that, we play 3 copies of Rescue Rabbit. This guy is basically a 1-card Mithurium. If you open up with the Metalfoes Scale and Rescue Rabbit, you have a first turn Mithurium. That's one of the reasons why I like playing 3 Rescue Rabbit. Because I need to be able to fuse for Mithurium as soon as possible. Out of every card in my extra deck, if I can't go for Mithurium, I'm going for either Calamities or I'm just going for a Crystron Synchro on my opponent's turn just to buy time. For the most part, if it's not going for a Mithurium for a Synchro play, I'm going to go for a rank 3 or for a rank 4 because he's a 1-card XYZ play as well. It's really dope. And if you think that this deck has too many normal summons, keep in mind that the Metalfoes are Pendulums. So if you just have 2 scales, you can Pendulum summon anything you need to from your hand. Please excuse the music, the noise in the background. My girlfriend's cooking dinner for me. So I'm sure you guys may forgive me for that. Please do. 2 copies of Zoodiac Whiptail. I just chose not to maximize on any of the zoo monsters. I'm not saying that they're bad, but just because I didn't want to draw too many zoos, really, in realistical terms, you only want 1 zoo card because that's a 1-card combo. So you either have Barrage or your Whiptail. And I only chose Whiptail as the zoo monster I played because he's the best one in my opinion. Rat is not doing anything. in this kind of deck, and Thoroughblade doesn't really have very many targets. Ram doesn't have very many targets. Whiptail's just universally good. So that's gonna sum up the monster count. And then we're gonna go ahead and move forward to the spells. I'm really happy about the Rescue Rabbit. He does so much justice for me, like you have no idea. Rescue Rabbit's dope in this deck. And then for the spells, we play 3 double Ds. This is one of the best combos extenders. You have so many cards that you want to pop. Like I said, you want to play the maximum amount of ways to pop your cards, because almost every single card in this deck either is getting an effect when it gets popped, or it needs to be engraved, or it has like some kind of shenanigan it pulls off. It's really dope. All of your Crystrons need to get popped. All of your True Kings need to get popped. Your Bismal Gear needs to get popped. In addition to that, it's always nice to clear your extra monster zone just by popping it, because you don't really play too many links. So if you have a monster that's occupying your monster zone, your extra monster zone, for example, a Matrix, you can pop him and then do your Dragonic Diagram search, your Barrage special summon, your Metalfoes set a scale, or your Crystron special summon. So many ways. Or your True King special summon, and then this effect will special summon another Crystron. There's like a lot of combos in this deck. So you don't really have a problem with your extra monster zone being clogged, which is another benefit of this deck, because you have so many ways to pop your cards. And it's really important to have a lot of ways to do so, like I said. And then you play 6 more diagrams in the form of Optimus Prime. Big titties for the win, man. Like, if you open with diagram in this deck, it's really insane. You're either making your Calamities or you're making Masterpiece, in addition to the Metalfoes, Crystron, Zoodiac shenanigans. You play 3 Barrage. It's one of the best extenders. It's also food for your Masterpiece. If you open up with, for example, your Barastos and like a Crystron, you can summon Barastos, put in the Crystron grave, use this effect to search, and then resolve your Barrage, popping Barastos. And then you just get, oh my gosh, like so much field presence on it. And you can either do your Metalfoes play, you can do a Zoodiac just to do a Link Summon play. And if you already had a Dragonic Diagram in your hand, you're making your Calamities or your Masterpiece that way. It's just really lit. So Barrage is one of the greatest extenders. Opening up with it isn't bad at all. It really does fix some of your hands. Sometimes you open up with those weird hands where it's like, I just need something to pop a card. I have all these good effects. I just need something to pop a card. So you open up with any of these 9 spells, or a Metalfoes scale, or a Crystron, and you got all your combos live. And then 1 Metalfoes fusion and 1 full Metalfoes fusion to sum up the spells. I don't play Heritage. I actually chose Disciples because it comes up the most. Recycling my 1 Calamities, my True Kings, my Masterpiece, the True King's Return if need be so. Like I said, I know I said it multiple times, but you got to understand how important it is to pop your own cards in this deck. That's how you resolve your combos. For the traps, you play 2 combination and True King's Return. This is how you make your Masterpiece unaffected by traps. In addition to that, these have good effects engraved. This will either pop a monster, or this will search for your Metalfoes cards. And this also happens to be recyclable, so it's one of the good reasons why Masterpiece is always live in this deck. In addition to that, you play the 3 Barrage and also the Disciples of the Draco Phoenix, which is really nice. So Masterpiece has like 7 different targets for his own effect to pop a card. You play 2 Metalfoes counter and 1 Crystron impact to sum up the traps. These are also recovery plays, and they can, in addition to that, be something you play on your turn for your OTK pushes, or to extend your play so that you can make a fusion, or to just make food for your True Kings. It's just really lit. Like, everything serves multiple purposes. Everything has like dual utility in this deck. There's so many different ways you can use the card. Like, 1 card can do a lot of stuff in this deck. It's really dope. For fusions, we just play 4. 2 Mithrium, 1 Orichalc, and 1 Alkahest. You loop this off of your combination, and 1 Mithrium can pull all of these back. And that's another reason why Mithrium's so good in this deck, because he gave me space to play other cards instead of maximizing on all of these, because these are the extra deck monsters I go into the absolute most. Then I play 2 Synchros, a Matrix, and an Zektron. These are to stall out and buy for time, because I really don't want to be aggro with my Synchros. I want it to be more aggro with my Fusions and my XYZs. You can play aggressive Synchros if you want, but I chose, there had to be some kind of stalling aspect in this deck, because we're playing a really, really competitive meta. There's a lot of decks that can kill you in 1 turn, so I just need a way to stall. And I felt like these were the best cards to stall. Is it good? It is good. Thank you, baby. Aside from that, you can also start out with Calamities, and you can start out with Baguska. But these are acting as stalling cards and also aggressive cards, because they can help you push. Like, with Calamities on field, you can use your opponent's monsters to summon your True Kings. Baguska can switch itself to attack position and just go ham. These cards can do nothing aggressively, so they're my stalling in-between plays. So, the Crystron serve a lot of different purposes. they not only combo off, but they guarantee you to buy time for a turn. If, for example, you're playing Spirals and you know they have the crazy combo, and you're just like, I just need to live for one turn because I have game in hand, but I can't attack because I went first, and obviously you get no battle phase if you go first. So you're like, I need to stall for one turn so I can use my battle phase and kill my opponent. And that's what these help to do. So moving forward to XYZ, you play 1 Calamities and 1 Baguska. I call this Chlamydia, and I call this Syphilis. And then 1 MX Saber Invoker. There's so many different ways to make him. In addition to your Rescue Rabbit, you play Thisferns, which are all level 3s. You play Smigers, which are level 3s. And you also play Crystron. Not Crystron, but you play Metalfoes. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, Silver. I was going to call him Thisfern. So you play 9 level 3s. You can play a lot more rank 3s, but my extra deck is so tight on space. This is just for your Zoo combo. And then you're playing 2 Chakanine, 1 Tiger Mortar, and 1 Borbo. Chakanine comes up the most, that's why I play 2 of her. You're really not playing too heavy on the Zoos. Barrage is the main purpose of the deck, just being an extender. And this helps you to out monsters like Sleeper as well, or just base the Sleeper out. And basically this will help you to link summon into your Mrs. Radiant, so you can go for Calamities and Orichalc, or Calamities and Mithrium, which is one of the fields I like to go for. You can even go for Calamities and Baguska if you want to. You just can, just because. And then the 1 Miss Starboy, you play the Earth for the Misses, and you play a lot of Waters for Miss Starboy. If they had a Fire Link that's legal right now, that's just like these, I would probably play 2 of it, because it would come up a lot more than these do. But that sums up the deck. I'm going to show you a really quick combo. It's my favorite combo, and it's the combo that inspired me to play this deck. If you have kept up with my my Crystron Metalfoes builds, you're going to know exactly what this combo is. Every other combo is too extensive and it takes too much time, and I don't want this video to be too long. So if you open up with Thisfern and any Metalfoes scales and any Crystron card, you have this combo. Thisfern's the only specific card. So let's say you have Gold Driver, and since you play 3 of your Smiger, you're always going to have a Smiger more than you have your other Crystrons. So what we're going to do here is we're going to normal summon our Thisfern, play our Metalfoes scale, we're going to pop Thisfern, and we're going to set combination directly from our deck, right? We're just going to leave it face up. It's set though. Then you're going to actually banish your Thisfern to search for your Crystron, what's his name? For your Crystron Sulfenir. You're going to activate his effect to summon himself by pitching the Crystron card, which is Smiger. His effect will not destroy himself. Don't destroy himself, destroy your combination. Combination will search for your missing scale, so now you have complete scales. So you search for a high scale if you have a low scale, or vice versa. Then you're going to play that scale, activate its effect, popping your Sulfenir. He's an if and not a win, so he cannot miss timing for this combo. Then his effect will activate, which will actually special summon Crystron Rion from your deck. You want to put Rion on the field because he's going to put your banished Crystrons back into your deck, so you can have endless combos. Then you're going to banish your Smiger, and you're going to search for your Crystron Impact. And now you're established. You have complete scales. You have these for your field presence. You have Rion, a 1-card synchro. You're going to live no matter what, which is really, really dope. It's a cool combo. I like it because it's one of the ways that you can quickly establish yourself. Like, I'm here and I'm ready to do this thing. So yeah, that's going to sum up the deck profile in the video. Stay tuned for the combo tutorial. It may take time because I actually am trying to basically choose which combos to put in one video and which combos to put in another, because there's a lot of combos and they're very, very long. So if you're patient enough, you might want to watch it. If you don't have the time, I understand. It's probably not going to be something you want to watch. But if you want to learn how to play this deck, I'm going to put the videos up to teach you on how this deck works. This deck isn't actually out on YouTube, so there aren't really any other ways to play this deck, and I understand that. That's why I wanted to do a combo video to teach those of you guys who might be confused on how this deck works. Like I said, because there's no other Yu-Gi-Tuber or just like YouTube video that shows a video on how to play, you know, True King, True Draco, Metalfoes, Crystron, Zoodiacs. So I wanted to help you guys out with that. But God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. And y'all enjoy life. I'm going to go ahead and sign out and eat my dinner. Peace.